Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of the Sword of Hope 2 for the Nintendo Game Boy. Last episode we started exploring Farb Island, and we're going to head over to the weapons shop and buy some equipment. We're going to pass up the blacksmith right now, because the blacksmith, if we give him the dragon scale and that tritium metal, he'll be able to make a few more items for us. So I just want to show off the equipment that's available in the shop before we have the blacksmith make new stuff. Here's another new enemy. We saw it in the last episode, but it was always in large groups, so I didn't get to show off its stats. But now it's in a smaller group here, so we can see out the stats of this Torn Mage here. And he attacks us with these blast spells, which is basically like that spell that we use from the Cane of Destruction. We will eventually learn that line of spells, like Blast, Destroy. I forget what the last one is, but he will eventually learn that line of spells. Right now he's learning those lightning spells, and he learned the Recover spell, which is your best healing spell. Single target healing spell. So here is the weapon shop. We want to buy the speed equipment. So that's actually available right now. A lot of weird stuff. Sort of good luck, sort of miracles. They increase your chance of getting a critical hit, but I also read that they also increase the chance of the enemy landing a critical hit on you. So, yeah, not really, if that's true, not really worth it. I'm not going to buy them because I'm going to be buying other stuff instead. We want to buy 3 speed armors and 3 speed shields. Now, there'll be a piece of equipment that'll have higher raw defensive power than the speed shield and speed armor. That's the dragon armor and dragon shield. And the blacksmith will make them with the dragon scale. But even though they have better, higher defense, overall, the speed armor and speed shield are actually better because they will increase your character's agility, which factors into their defensive power. So the agility boost that the speed shield and the speed armor give end up making them better defensively. So everybody's going to end up with a speed armor and speed shield. I will buy dragon armor and dragon shield just to show that while they do have the higher defense, they're going to lower speed by a lot. I'm just going to fast forward here as I sell a bunch of stuff. I'm getting so much stuff in my inventory. I might as well get rid of it all. We don't need the fishing pole. We don't need the pliers anymore. Don't need that cool cloak. All those iron boomerangs. Don't need them. And then all the old equipment, the iron armors, the spirit armors, shield of illusion. Get rid of all that stuff. Just make sure we just don't sell the tritium and the dragon scale, because we want to give them to, actually not even going to give them to the blacksmith. He's going to actually buy them off us for 9,000 gold each. So we're going to get basically like 18,000 gold for those 2 items, which is just barely slightly less than what you need to buy one of those dragon armors or dragon shields. Let's go talk with the blacksmith. He's a big dude. But that's to be expected as a blacksmith, you know, swinging that heavy hammer. I'm thinking of the Wheel of Time series, that book series by Robert Jordan. One of the characters, Perrin, one of the main characters, he was a blacksmith. Hammer and an axe are his 2 weapons. He ended up eventually putting down the axe to focus on the hammer, but it's like the 2 the duality of he was kind of a soft-spoken man, getting into communicating with wolves and stuff, but you know, it was the thing of being a builder and a protector with a hammer, and being a warrior and a fighter with the axe. So here we're gonna get the, like I said, just to show them off, the armor, the dragon armor, the dragon shield, and we're gonna buy 2 of the sword of light. Basically, we're getting lightsabers, and Theo and Layla will get them. Single target, but they have really high attack power, so there'll be a good increase there. Keep the speed seal on there. Now I'm going to show off the change with Theo here real quick. So 173 and 84 agility with the speed stuff. But if we take the dragon stuff, we go from 173 and 84 to, we gain 12 points of defense, but we lose 40 points of agility. So overall, it's better to just keep the speed stuff equipped. And we can just sell that dragon stuff back, because we won't be using it. The only equipment I'm going to keep is, I'm going to do some experimenting, probably like a bonus episode, with that comfort equipment. See if that does anything special, if you have an entire set of it. So I will be making a return back to Rod's Woods to buy the comfort shield and the comfort sword. Swords though, the other swords you can get rid of. Yeah, those elemental swords, we don't need them anymore. Sell them all off for some gold. Just keep one of them. I should have kept the Sword of Earth as the strongest one, but the fire is only 4 attack points weaker than it, and I already have it equipped on mute, so I saved some time by not de-equipping mute. And most of the time I said mute's going to be either using magic or using one of the canes, so it's not going to matter that there's a slightly weaker sword than what he could have. So last episode we met this guy, Dr. Normal, and he didn't really want to talk with us, but after we talked with him, we went over and we saw his airship that he's trying to build. After we see his airship, we can go back and talk with him, and he's basically going to give us a little quest. So, are you fans? Fans of who? If we say we're not fans of him, we don't know who he is, he just kicks us out, but he has a short memory, so we can just head right back in there and tell him that we are fans of him. So he's going to ask us again, you fans? You bet we are. Really, you want to know what I'm building now? I'm building a flying ship to fly to the moving island. The problem is I need a mysterious stone called the Hisho-Hekken to finish the ship. Rumor says the Hisho-Hekken can be found on Nuku Island, but I do not know where. So the airship remains grounded. So it's like, I guess that's like the floater stone from Final Fantasy 1 that the Lefinians used to raise their airships. So the final dungeon is going to be in this floating island in the sky. So we're going to have to get the ship to go there. So it's going to warp. We could have warped to any island. We just want to warp anywhere, because then that'll put us right in front of the submarine, or any of the islands we want to warp to. And we're going to take the submarine down to Scunner Island, which is actually more of a underwater cave. You could get here with the boat. We have to use the submarine. And this is the location of the water shard, the final shard that we need. There's only one type of regular enemy in here. There's a boss monster, but every other enemy that you encounter here are these specter enemies, and they're pretty easy. Mute usually is able to one-shot them with the Cane of Destruction. If not, Layla can put a finishing touch on them. That new sword she got. And there we go. Now I'm just going to show something off over here in the next room. Normally you just want to ignore everything in this room. Why is there a bit of a vase here? There's something inside the vase. And you want to touch it? You don't want to touch it. Touching it will cause the... well, I'll show you right here. Basically there's an octopus in there, and when we touch the octopus, it shoots black ink. That's what octopuses do as a defensive measure. And now everything is blackened out. And in order to get things to reappear, to restore our vision, we have to retreat back to the sub. So you have to go west, then south twice, and then we get back outside here. I guess we clean our eyes out, and now we can head back in. And this time we'll just ignore that vase. This is a very, very small dungeon, so it's not going to take very long to get through it all. Our goal is actually the room to the right. That is where the water shard is. But we can't actually get the water shard right now, because we head over there and see there's little whirlpools all around there. And they basically will force us out of the room. So we're going to have to find some way to stop those whirlpools. And the way we're going to do that is, in a few rooms, there's going to be a kraken. I guess this is the kraken that was ruling the ships. That's why people at Bon Harbor weren't going out and fishing anymore. Because they mentioned there was like a demon or a giant octopus. Well, it turns out it was this kraken. Let's head on up. Now the kraken isn't going to be visible when we go into the room, which is good. We have to do a bit of an exploration, I guess. So, head to the left. That takes us back to that room where the where the water shard is. But once again, currents are still there. They're going to push us out of the room. So first you have to look at the sea, and then you see that little shadow. Then we look at the shadow again, and then we have to hit that shadow, and that summons the kraken. Giant octopus. He has 3 eyes. So, gonna once again fortify Theo. Mute will use the Cane of Destruction, and Layla will just attack. She got a vicious attack there. That's nice. That'll speed things up. Should only take 2 or 3 rounds depending on how hard Theo hits. First round, of course. Casting the Fortify spell. Eventually there will be a spell in power that is basically Fortify for the entire party. So that'll be quite nice. Kraken's more than halfway dead, so you know, you think lightning would be really good on it, but not really. I guess it reminds me of Final Fantasy 2 or 4. The Octomammoth in the underwater passageway. It technically isn't weak to lightning, it's weak to darkness. Which is why Cecil does so much damage with his dark swords. It does more damage than Tella's lightning spell. But there we go, we finished off the kraken. And the kraken was the cause of all those whirlpools. So yeah, we look at the sea, it's calm. We go into this room again, now the whirlpools are all gone. So we're able to take the Shard of Water. And that is the 4th elemental shard. And once you get all 4 elemental shards, they will meld together into the Worldstone. This is what we need to basically seal away Zakdos the demon again. Yeah, those final few shards got him pretty quick. But we still have a lot to do in the game. Like I said, we gotta find that floater stone. And that's gonna be in a pretty large dungeon. It's like a 2-part dungeon. And now the good thing is, from the where the Kraken was, if we go north, it basically teleports us back to, it's like a passageway back to our submarine. So, let's just go anywhere. Doesn't matter. Technically, we should go to the Nuku Island to go look for that stone. But I just came here real quick because I was going to heal my party up and go back to Rod's Woods, get that shield of comfort and the sword of comfort, so I have a entire set of that comfort equipment. Just like I said, for experiment later on, like bonus episode, bonus content type thing. Maybe I'll fiddle with it while I'm doing level grinding. I will be doing some level grinding between the areas here. The next place on Nuku Island is basically a 2-part dungeon. There's like a giant beanstalk you gotta climb to get to this tower, and then in the tower is where you'll find the floater stone. But the enemies inside the tower are really, really tough. So I'll do some level grinding just so they ain't wiping me out. So we already have a spear of comfort. Let's get a sword of comfort too. And it doesn't matter because we have a uncrowded inventory because we sold so much. And now we can just teleport over to Ripper Castle, see my dad, King Hennessy. Remember, he gives you a free heal. He heals your hit points and magic points. All our wounds are completely healed, and we get that MP. Alright, so we are ready to go adventuring. Just warp to one of the islands or Barn Harbor. That'll put us right at the place where the submarine is. Now we can take the submarine right to our next island, the Nuku Island. Go looking for that floater. Where to? Nuku Island. And that is going to take us to, like I said, that giant beanstalk. The weird thing is, like, as you're climbing the beanstalk, there'll be some rooms. I'll show them off, but I'll probably just then kind of reset. But if you look at the beanstalk, it says you see vines you can climb. But yeah, this is what I want to show. There's certain rooms when you're climbing the beanstalk that you like basically step on a leaf and it breaks, and then you fall down to these spikes here, and you got to basically start climbing again. So I just want to show off that spike room real quick. And find some barley on the tree. And next episode we'll actually start climbing the tree and looking for these stones that we need to basically open some passages in the tower, at the top of the tower, at the beanstalk. So take care, have a good one.